Asian Americans that will see this as a path to follow. It's like it's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
So we can go like this. Oh, this will never happen. Oh, it's taking so long. It's an inevitability, because there's no way that you can have such incredible landscapes and experiences and keep that quiet forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, Merced has a wildlife refuge.
Right.
Okay, and I remember going there, and I still remember turning in and seeing like 10 night herons just sitting there looking at me, and it was like, oh my God!
Yeah.
They were like ornaments in a Christmas tree. They're just sitting there, and then the sandhill cranes and all the birds flying over, and I just remember thinking, wow, this is amazing. I sound like Hugh Hauser. This is amazing. It was great. So more and more kids will have those experiences, and if they have more of those experiences, that demographic is going to be large enough in terms of just numerically that percentage of the group, as it gets bigger, that percentage gets bigger.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So instead of right now a few dozen black folk thinking, oh, I might do that, it's going to be a few hundred. Then it's going to be a few thousand. Then it's going to be tens of thousands.
Yeah.
And it's just math.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
What's funny is, what I find funny, I'm going to throw you under the bus, Anish, is that Ennis is doing a great demographics report.
Mm-hmm.
A wonderful demographics report about the demographics within our refuge.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also read a research paper from a graduate who I think was an intern at the refuge. I was sent her paper, I think her name is Jessica, but I was sent her paper, and her report wasn't just solely demographics. So it's like demographics, visitation, problems in the park, and it was like lists of things. And I saw her demographics,
Mm-hmm.
and it was 49% Caucasian, less than 1% black, just to our refuge alone. And it's very strange to me because we're in the Bay Area,
Mm-hmm.
and the Bay Area is super diverse. We're right next to San Francisco, Oakland, and until I proposed this idea of, I started with the flyer, and it was the first annual Black History Month outreach event, and then it dawned on them, or the Carmen who was helping me do the edits of my flyer, like, should we put annual? Is this something we can do reoccurringly?
Mm-hmm.
And then the refuge complex manager, Chris, he told me he'd love to make it something that we could do reoccurringly. But that's also the authenticity, as I was talking to Ennis, and I said, I feel like the authenticity is lost when it's not being told by the portrayal of the person who's also going within the struggle in it. Like, it's harder to tell the story of a Buffalo Soldier, or it's hard to tell a story, or to even do a Black History Month outreach event when your host isn't African American.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I am hoping, because the reason why I'm doing this event is the reason why I got hired. My supervisor was thrilled that I was African American, and
So your supervisor, she or he didn't know that you were African American when you applied for the position?
No. Yep. What's up?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me when I showed up in Yellowstone.
Yeah.
My supervisor was from a ranching family in Kemmerer, Wyoming.
Yeah.
He had no idea I was black because I talk like I'm talking right now.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it at the time. When I got off the bus, he was internally like that. And he had no idea. He had no idea. Which was great, because that meant that, when people say to me, well, you probably got on an affirmative action hire. So I said, no, actually, my first supervisor had no idea when I showed up that I was African. And I found that out a year later.
Yeah.
He said, Stuart, he had no idea. He didn't know if I would get along with my roommate.
Exactly.
And my roommate was a Vietnam vet. Like, how can you be a white Vietnam vet and not get along with black people?
Right.
Because the other soldiers were black, Vietnam was an integrated war.
Yeah, I was just talking, and I was talking to Tia, who's my supervisor, and I don't know how it came about, but she said, what do you hope, when she was interviewing me, she said, what do you hope to do, like, what are your goals, what do you want to do, what's your, your main goal for working here? And I said, honestly, back in Sacramento State, they call me the path breaker. I'm the only African American in the program, in outdoor rec, and I want to do things with outreach and diversity. I feel like we should get more African Americans into the park. And she was like, "You're African American?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "This is wonderful." Like, she liked that because Tia, without sounding unprofessional, but to be 100% real, she was telling me that that's something they're trying to work on. But it's like, when you're in a refuge, the thing you're trying to protect, of course, it's the migratory birds, and then, to do exactly what your mission states. So some of the other issues, they don't really get worked on. And then how do you work on those issues when you don't have African Americans working in the refuge?
Yeah.
And she was like, I think, and I didn't feel bad, she wanted to hire me immediately because she felt like we need more diversity. And she was like, we do have one other African American named Ennis, and she told me about that. And I feel like I'm in that same place where I'm skeptical about working somewhere, because if I learn that it is all white, that scares me, because it's that same thing. Like, I can't help that fear, but I do, obviously, in the major, when I was in the major, the first time I went camping in Mono Lake, I freaked out. I've never been camping, I've never went roughing it, if you will, and I was like, what if they judge me? What if they do that? It's that what if factor. Or they've never seen me doing this, and I was welcomed immediately. And we were talking about that, I was talking with Ennis about that, like when he got hired, like all they are nice. But you don't think that off the bat, only because you don't see other people that look like yourself.
Well, it's also conditioning. We've been conditioned to be not as, how can I put this, fearful.
Yeah.
It's going back to fear again. These are environments where rural America, we have this thing in our DNA. Rural America means lynchings, all these other things.
Yeah.
And when you don't see yourself reflected around you, it's easier to think that there's a certain not so hidden threat that might be there.
We were even talking about, when we were talking on the phone, you said if you ever feel this way, just call me and say, oh, hey, Shelton.
Yeah.
When I met Ennis, hey buddy, when I met Ennis, that was, for me, that was the connection. Like, I was like it's like when you meet someone, when you're in a group and everybody's 16 and you're 22, and then someone else is introduced that's 22. It's that immediate connection because you're the same age. It's like, when I met Ennis, I just felt so much more comfortable. And then I was like, okay. And then I saw that the treatment Ennis was getting and how nice they were to him. And I was like, there's really nothing to be afraid of. There really isn't, because honestly, the refuge has been backing me up on this. Letting Ennis come with me. They said, we 100% support you. We want to do this. And they think it's a great thing.
And they should be thinking it's a great thing.
And it's, I feel like I doubt myself too much. And then
you feel like what?
I doubt myself too much.
Oh, but everybody,
like even applying, I was because after this internship, then I'm done. I don't have employment yet. I'm applying everywhere, and actually my resume got seen to Blue Ridge, and I want to say, was it Georgia? And it's like an outdoor, it's like the same exact thing I'm doing now, but instead of being an intern, I'm in environmental education. But I went to the page and I searched everything, and Georgia's fairly Caucasian, and I looked at all their staff, and all their staff's Caucasian, but the difference is where our refuge, it does have diversity, there's none there. So the man messaged me and he said, like, here's your stipend, I want to interview you. And I don't know, it's just that doubt. And I'm still feeling that, and I don't know why. I think I was so eager to hop onto this internship, honestly, because we were in the Bay Area, and Bay Area is home to me, because I've grown up here. And I knew of, like, Carmen, there's, like, and there, it's not a big pool, but there's Asian Americans, there's me and Ennis, there's Caucasians, and there's a bit of diversity, but to be in a pool of none, I think that personally for me is a little bit scary. It's frightening.
And I mean, you guys are like Gillian and myself. When I worked in Yellowstone, I was the only African American ranger in the uniform, but there was Dr. Gillian Bowser. She was not that much older than I was, but she had a PhD. She was a scientist. She worked for resource management, and it was just us. And it was funny because like people would say to her, "Have you met Shelton? Have you met Shelton?"
Yeah, they do that, yep.
And it was, have you met Gillian? Gillian?
Yeah.
She says, yeah, I know about Gillian. She's at Mammoth. I'm at Westgate. That's like 50 miles, in a different district. But I know about her. I know her, But it's like we were both there. But at the same time, it felt good, me knowing Gillian was there.
Yeah.
And I know that it helped Gillian feel better, whatever she was dealing with, to know that I was over here. Because every once in a while, I could just shout.
Exactly, exactly.
I go, Gillian.
right.
And so that's why I always have this phrase that I say that diversity begets diversity. And the situation you want to try to avoid at all possible is one person by themselves. If you can have two or three, then you have built-in community. And if one person's having a bad day, this guy, what he said to me, I can't be like I had someone call me the N-word when I worked at the Westgate in Yellowstone. I was at the gate, and this guy came through, and he wanted to do something, and he didn't remember what the question was, and I was just saying, well, you can't, I was trying to say this, you can't do that without doing this, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But all he heard was, you can't do that, and he said, oh, goddamn nigger, like that. And I was like, and I called in, I said, there's this guy going, do not help him. He was rude, he called me this, and I said, so you need to go in there right there. Just go in there.
Yeah.
And he went in there and he got what he wanted, and they didn't hear that part, but he just, Shelton, we didn't know you did that. We would have told him that's one of our park rangers. You cannot talk to him that way.
Yeah.
But so what I'm saying is that, and that's only happened once. That's I've only been called in. I've only been called the N-word once in 30 years. Once is still too many times.
Yeah.
I had a group. When I worked at Great Basin National Park, I had a family, because you have big families near Utah. Big families. And they identified themselves as belonging to the KKK. And I thought that was stupid, because I was thinking, so you identify yourself as belonging to a supremacist group, and you expect a good tour.
Right.
That's what I was thinking psychologically. But they were putting this threat out there, and I just said to them, well, that's nice. I like people who have connections to other people, and that's important, man. This is a strong thing. But just keep in mind, I have the key that takes you in, and it's a double lock system, 2 doors. I have the key that'll take you out, and so you got to make certain that nothing happens to me. Because if something happens to me, we're in another world down there, and I don't know if they'll even find you. And after that, they were just perfectly nice and sweet for the whole tour. But I had to tell them that, whatever, if they were thinking about doing anything toward me, I'm the only one that knows the way in. You're going on the tour, you're turning lights on in front of you, and turning lights out behind you, and there is no darkness in this world that's darker than the darkness of a cave.
Oh yeah.
Because there's organisms there that are used to never having light, Right. So they were made certain. Are you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. But anyway, people are crazy.
People are crazy.
They're crazy. They work against their own wishes with bigotry sometimes. But I just deal with it because it's that whole thing of pro and con. For me, the pros of living in such a beautiful place. I'm working in a place that I dreamed of visiting when I was a kid. All the books I used to read. I read a lot of science fiction. I always wanted to go to other worlds and all that. And compared to Detroit, the Sierra Nevada is another world.
Yeah, for real.
It is just, being able to walk down the street and have a deer walk by, and seeing a bear and chasing bears out of the campgrounds. Part of my job, chasing bears out of the campgrounds. Seeing a mountain lion. Seeing a bald, I got a photograph of my thing on my Instagram, 2 bald eagles across from the El Bertal Market sitting up in a tree. That's great.
You have an Instagram?
What's that?
You have an Instagram?
Yeah. At Ranger_Shelton.
I'm going to add you later.
Yeah, I have an Instagram thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because we go way back now.
Yeah, that's right there. We good.
Yeah, you're my peeps at that refuge. Tell me the name of the refuge.
Oh,
Don Edwards, San Francisco Bay National Wildlife Refuge.
yes.
Okay, all right. So, but you're my peeps at Don
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of being peeps, could I possibly use you as a reference at any time? Okay, good.
Yeah, you can too.
Oh, thank you.
What's the whole point of this?
Yeah.
If we're not helping each other.
Exactly. Because I was applying some places and I'm like, these references aren't going to do it for me.
Yeah.
Tia would, but it's, the sushi restaurant.
None like this.
No, none like this.
None like you.
Nothing like you.
Yeah,
Very
just
beneficial.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Celebrity. No.
Well, I've been around celebrities and I'm not a celebrity. I know what you mean. I'm a celebrity within a certain thing.
Circle.
But you know, every time I quickly look over to see the paparazzi, they're never there.
I'm right here.
Okay. I'll do it this way.
Hey, I got the camera right here.
That's right.
And speaking of, can I take a picture with you and tell everybody like I met one of my heroes today?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
It's
then I
gonna
can
be
say
so.
on my Instagram that I met the future.
Oh yay! Okay.
Oh, man, that's
Oh, yeah.
already off. Okay.
Oh my god, it looks so cute. Can you take one on that?
Sure.
Why don't you help me out?
What's that? What is it?